Why do all undersea bases and volcano bases have to have evil people in them? I want to keep it secret from everyone, including my family. Oh, that's all right. That's doable.
Oh my God!
I think we've established that I should not be given any money. So it's for the best.
So guys, today we've got comedian and Taskmaster champion Richard Herring coming in, and unbeknownst to him, he has just won the EuroMillions jackpot. Oh, here he is. Hello, Richard.
Hello.
How are you? Mwah. Hello. Welcome.
Thank
Follow
you.
me. We are going to be having a little chat today.
Oh, yeah, that's what I understand. That's good.
About, a little bit of money.
Yeah, I love money.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't love money, Richard? Who doesn't? Well, welcome.
Lovely.
Richard, I have some fantastic news for you today.
Yeah.
Okay? You have just won the EuroMillions jackpot. Welcome to Rich Beyond My Wildest Dreams!
I always knew the state would come.
Aren't you so happy?
I knew it.
Hello. Welcome.
I feel very welcome. It's beautiful here.
Rich Beyond My Wildest Dreams is a beautiful place. This is a place where you have just won a huge jackpot on EuroMillions from the National Lottery. A jackpot of around 200 million, okay? And in this world, I basically just want you to dream big, Richard, okay? I want you to lean into the bigger the better, the wilder, the crazier, the more bombastic. Nothing is wrong, okay? There is no wrong here.
Oh, well.
It's always yes and.
Wait till you've heard my ideas before you say that.
No, it's always yes and. Always yes and.
On your head be it.
I may regret those words. And I do have to say, though, just because I don't want to receive, a text message later on, you haven't actually won the money. So I just wanted to clarify.
You gave the check and everything.
I know, I'm sorry. It's, the theatre of it all.
Okay.
It's theatre, it's magic.
Seems a cruel way to start.
Sorry. But no, it's fine. We're going to have fun. We're going to be thinking about spending hypothetical money, okay? Which is just as good as real money, but just with less of the realness.
Okay.
I guess.
All right, we'll go.
I just want to also say that, like I said, big, wild, crazy. So nothing boring like, I'd buy a car or I'd, get a house. Boring. I want palaces. I want personal chefs.
Okay.
I want private islands.
Yep.
You get it?
I do.
Okay. Also, I want to introduce you to my fabulous, amazing blue magic button here. Okay? Now, this button will only get pressed when you say something that I believe is worth the pressing of said button.
Wow, okay.
That means it has to be something I've either never heard before or I'm like, whoa, Richard, you are a big dreamer, okay? And I will press that button and everybody in this room will go crazy. Wow. Okay. Won't you guys? You'll all go crazy.
Are they wired up to it?
They are. It'll send electric jolts through everyone.
That's what I'd like first of all.
Speaking of the guys, we have to introduce our production team. Everybody say hi.
Hello.
Our production team are going to be helping us with the research. So if you say, I want a private island, they will find out how much that's going to be. Okay? So, Richard, you've just won the EuroMillions jackpot.
Great.
What are you doing in the first 5 minutes? Walk me through it.
Well, I'm one of those people. There's a lot often people who win and go, I always knew this was going to happen to me. I'm going to be one of those people. Because I've always known I'm going to win. So far, I haven't won. You never see the people who said, I've always knew I was going to win.
Yeah.
Coming out, but I haven't won.
Yeah, no.
They're very, very confident.
They know they were going to win. Yeah.
And then they do win. So I'm going to be that guy.
Okay.
I knew this was coming.
Yeah.
Taken its time. I've been playing for quite a few years.
But here we are.
I could have had this 20 years ago.
But here we are.
Yeah, here we are. So I think, I want to keep it secret.
Really?
Yeah, from everyone, including my family.
Now, you have famously said before that you would keep it a secret from your wife.
Yeah.
Until she realizes.
I reckon I could.
You
pull
could get
this
away
off.
with it. So she wouldn't know. No one would know.
No one would know. It would be nice to. You can't trust anyone, can you? If I tell anyone, then the news is going to get out.
It's going to get out.
And I want all of the money for me. I don't want to share it with anyone. I mean, I guess it would become problematic after a while when you said I'm just popping to my palace. But I'd be interested to see how long it would take. The first thing I would do when in the young ones, when Rick Mail becomes very rich, for some reason he just puts his hair all up in the air like that. That's the first thing I would do. That would be the first sign to my wife that my hair's just all up in the air like that.
Slicked up.
Yeah, it's just like very high.
High.
Like a sort of almost like it's like a revolutionary, like the wigs the aristocrats used to
Right,
but
right.
it's with your own hair.
Right.
So I quite like the idea of just being rich makes you think, right, I'm going to have flamboyant hair.
Think big.
So I'll do that and see if anyone twigs. Goes, what's going on here? But it would be nice to try and, I wouldn't be able to keep it secret, would you? I don't know, from everyone.
I mean, from everyone, no. I'm a yapper as well, so someone's finding out in the first 5 minutes, There's a text going out, at least one.
Yeah.
At least one, from me personally. But I feel like you're quite a cool... I feel like you'd take time to process, maybe.
I think I would find it very hard to believe. I'm sure in reality it must be just so hard to process and believe it. So you must feel, it's like you probably have that as a dream every now and again. You have the dream where you win the lottery. So you'd first will go, oh yeah, well done.
Yeah.
Oh, this all seems very real. Well done, dreamscape. I'm not falling for this. So I would be cool and not get too excited. But yeah, I mean, it's sort of a frightening prospect.
It is.
To have that much money is sort of incredible, but also slightly terrifying because the potential for good and evil that you possess.
Well, let's talk about this potential for good and evil. So we've now gone into the next 6 months of you being a gajillionaire.
Yeah.
What does that look like for you? What's like the first thing that you would do in the first 6 months? We're talking, projects that you're like, hey, I want to get this done in the first half of the year.
I think to begin with, I would sort of start a little bit less crazy than I was gonna get.
Okay.
But I sort of think the thing, if you have lots of money, I don't understand why people aren't just satirizing the idea of having lots of money and just do things that sort of satirize the nature of. I think I'd really like to sort of bring back a TV show from 30 years ago, something that was so defunct. Like a sitcom or something where half the cast are dead, everyone's a bit too old. Someone's really... The thing I'd really like to do, I really like the show Deadwood, and that stopped quite early. I'd like to bring it back, remake it with all the same actors, they're all a bit older, but Jedward are in every single scene.
Oh my...
And so it's called Jedward Deadwood. And they're not. It's exactly the same script, exactly the same thing. And Jedward don't influence what happens in it at all.
They're just
in the background, and they're not in they're not in costume. They're just present day Jedward, and that's present day Jedward, not Jedward when they were at their height.
No.
Jedward now, and I presume their hair went big, didn't it? It went really big, and I bet it's coming down. Bit by bit as they get older and slightly less successful.
I love that.
Yeah.
Jedward Deadwood.
Yeah.
Okay, let's figure out Jedward's fee.
It's about 10 grand a day for Jedward.
Is it?
Depends how many episodes.
I mean, it's a lot. It'll be a lot, and they're in every single scene.
Okay.
So they might want more than they might. Is it 10 grand each or 10 grand between them? So you get them both for 10 grand.
That's a good
I could do that
price.
now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get them for a couple of weeks.
Deadwood cost $4.5 million per episode.
Oh, that's not. That's all right. That's
Oh
doable.
my God. Okay, so first 6 months were done.
Yeah.
But, are you doing anything personal for yourself? Like, I don't know, is your fridge going to be full of lobster? Is your garden going to be full of very rare flowers or something? What are we doing?
I mean, I think like what I like the idea of is basically having just somebody to look after everything, right? Okay. Look after you.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got my mum; she's still around, but she doesn't work as hard as she used to in looking after me.
Fair enough.
It'd be nice just to employ staff. The thing last time I was on, I said I would like. I know I hate going to the hygienist; it's my worst thing.
Okay.
But I would like a hygienist and this hygienist studio set up. So every morning, instead of brushing my teeth, I went to a hygienist who's employed only by me. No one else is allowed to go in there, and they just clean my teeth basically every day. So then it doesn't get problematic.
I want you to know, Richard, you are the best guest by far, because I've not heard any of these. What do you mean a hygienist to come and...
Just to cut. So you got a hygienist, all the equipment, the chair, and and just in the morning...
As you do, guys.
So you don't get a build up of tartar or anything like that, just because it's just because the worst thing is you go in every 6 months and then they scrape, and it really jangles my nerves. So they just clean your teeth.
Yeah.
I mean, they could probably use a toothbrush.
The average salary for a dental hygienist is $32,800.
Easy.
Fabulous. Add them to the list.
Again, I think I might do that anyway.
That is great. Okay, so a dental hygienist on payroll.
Yeah.
Would you have a butler?
I do, yeah. I mean, probably that's a bit obvious, though, isn't it? I just think you get a butler sort of does everything. I want individual.
You want niche.
You're spreading the money out a bit.
Okay,
by
nice.
employing all these people.
You're creating jobs.
Yeah.
You are creating
So
jobs.
I'd like people who literally have to work for 5 minutes a day, but they're not allowed to go home. They have to stay there 9 to 5,
right.
and they're not allowed to. They have to hand their phones in at the start of the day. So they'd love me and hate me. They think this great, this guy. I don't have to do anything.
Yeah,
but he's
but
also he's just unnecessary.
Yeah. Really strict, even though I'm only here for 15 minutes a day.
Yeah.
Okay, so Richard, now we've done the first 6 months.
Yeah.
This is where we get into the purchases you've always wanted to make. Okay, is there one lifetime dream or fantasy that you have that you could fulfill with the EuroMillions jackpot?
Well, look, I don't really like other people very much.
Fairs.
So like what you'd like to do when you go to like a theme park or something like that with your family, you kind of think it'd be nice to just pay for the whole theme park and have it to ourselves, right? That's pretty obvious standard. I'd like that in my whole life, everywhere I go. So if I'm going shopping on Oxford Street, they shut down Oxford Street,
right?
And I can just go to all the shops and I don't have to get bothered by everyone else.
Now
no
I
one else
really
is allowed
like
in.
that one.
Yeah, or wherever I'm going. If I'm going to the gym, everyone is closed. It's only me allowed in there and the personal trainer.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That is good.
Yeah.
And you'd have a person to call up ahead.
Yeah.
A designated person.
They'd say, we're shutting down.
Today we're going here. Close the whole place.
Close it. It's just for you. Because they sometimes do it for celebrities, like they let them in the shops an hour before.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
No.
I want it at the time that I want to go.
Prime time.
Which is not 8 o'clock in the morning.
No.
Or 7 o'clock at night. I want to
no.
go at midday.
Yeah, and
they kick everyone out.
Even though we're going to one shop, the whole
street's in case I want to go there.
Yes.
And the tube has to be shut down because I'll be travelling on the tube.
How super inconvenient.
Everyone else has to get off the tube and I'll get the tube.
Victoria Line is closed for today because we need it. We need it for Richard.
Yeah.
I don't even know how we would price this up.
So when Christopher Nolan made The Dark Knight, they shut down large parts of downtown Chicago, which cost them about £2 million an hour.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah, that's all right. Now I wouldn't want more than an hour. Because also you wouldn't need it.
Just grabbing your bits.
Because you go into the shops. If you're in the shops, you have to queue up and stuff.
Yeah.
But if you're the only person there, you're straight in, aren't you? Yeah, just like to avoid humanity as much as possible.
And you're allowed to. Richard, you are allowed to, okay? You are super rich. You're allowed to. How about anything in terms of the podcast world? Last time you did say that you would buy every restaurant in London and ban James and Ed off menu from entering. Personally love that idea because that is also, it leans towards the prank world as well.
It does. Well, that's
I like it.
Using your money.
Exactly.
I mean, just slightly inconveniences them. They just have to go somewhere else. Eat.
Or cook their own, you know?
I mean, if there's some way of just making them... I mean, they are the podcasters that I detest the most. And I'm most jealous of, to be fair. They're very nice boys. But I would like to make their lives hell if I could.
Yes.
See, again, what I don't understand about rich people, right? No, so when rich people... I mean, maybe they do this, but you can take vengeance on people. But like the newspapers are writing stories about you and saying, "Oh, someone's taken drugs. Oh, someone's had an affair." If I had £200 million, I would then send private investigators out to every reporter who was doing these stories about me and find the dirt on them and say, "Oh, did you know this guy did this?" So I'd follow them around, and then I'd have my own newspaper, and then I'd print about all the.
Oh.
Why would you not do that?
Oh.
So yeah, I'd do something like that with I'd have Ed and James followed everywhere. Then they could do it back to me, but they haven't got enough money to try and because they seem so nice and squeaky clean as well. And they have such a nice life where they get to do everything.
Stuff out.
Yeah, find the dirt about them, print it in my own newspaper, which is also dedicated to exposing journalists who've given me bad reviews.
Yeah.
That's all that's all they'll have on me.
That's it. I think that this deserves my button.
Oh, fantastic.
Because, first of all, the petty in me loves it,
good.
number one. And that tick, tick, tick. But number two, having your own newspaper. I could just talk about everything and anything that I would like to talk about.
Yeah.
Boo! Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, gosh. That's a good one. That's a good one. Does it feel good?
It does feel good, yeah.
It does feel good.
It does feel good that the bitterness in
Yes.
me
has worked.
Has been rewarded.
Yes, it has. Welcome to Rich Beyond My Wildest Dreams. Okay, so we've got our newspaper. We've got James and Ed, banned from every restaurant. Poor James and Ed. Bless them. Bless them. Okay, great. You're also actually a seasoned vet at Edinburgh Fringe.
Yes.
Let's go to Ed Fringe. How would you use the cash to elevate or to maybe cause a bit of chaos?
Well, if I wanted to cause chaos, I would book Oasis to play every single night at the Edinburgh Fringe and give the tickets away for free. That would annoy everyone else at the Edinburgh Fringe. I genuinely like to do it at the Edinburgh Fringe. This is a serious one.
Okay.
I would like to buy a massive student accommodation building.
Oh, nice.
And then all the performers can stay in there for free.
Oh, I love that.
But then
it's so expensive.
Oasis is on every night, so no one will come to their shows anyway. But but no, it is so expensive to do Edinburgh, and I genuinely I'm so annoyed about how when I first went up, you were still expensive, but you could it didn't matter what your background was, you could find a way to do it. And now it's just so much effort you have to put in to go there. So if just the accommodation was sorted out and someone just said you can live here for free, that'd be the one charitable thing I would do.
That's nice.
To my fellow performers at the
But they would
Fringe.
have no one to watch their shows because Oasis would be there. And listen, it's about balance. You can't have everything easy in life.
Do you think if Oasis were on every night for 30 nights, they would still?
They
sell
would,
it. If it was free, they'd sell out.
It's fine. How much for student accommodation in Edinburgh?
And student accommodation building in Edinburgh, about 10 million.
So comedians become rich off the back of Edinburgh, which there are several of them who would have £10 million spent.
Nice.
Even if you did that as a business, I think that would be, you could buy a big building, charge people reasonable rent, rent out to students the rest of the year.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I think all the comedians should come together.
I've tried to make it happen, but comedians are absolute
stingy.
I'm not allowed to swear. So.
Okay, so we're causing a bit of chaos and also doing some charitable work.
Yeah.
Nice. How about the rest of your life, Richard? Okay, now we're thinking the long-term goal. If we were talking in business terms, it's where do you see yourself once the business is fully established?
Yeah.
You've gone the long term, and what would, for example, your brief be for your estate agent? Let's start there.
I think I've always liked the idea, not necessarily of being evil, but living in one of the sort of James Bond underground bases in a volcano or something like that. That would be quite a nice place to live.
Oh, Richard, you're so good.
You don't have to have an army of mercenaries and nuclear bombs in there, but you could. Why do all undersea bases and volcano bases have to have evil people in them? Why can't you have one of those and just someone nice lives in there?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I don't know how we would start even decorating that. I can't even. The interior design would really have a job on them. But that's a great place to live.
If you just make it all of glass, then you don't really have to worry about it. It's all glass in it, and then it's you can't even hang pictures up on that.
How much is a volcano?
So depending on size, location, it's either 1 million to 50 million.
Okay.
So take your pick, really.
Right.
Nice.
I'd go for the 50 million one. Nice to sit in the sunshine as a volcano erupts behind you.
Yes, that would be. And I think also when it comes to furnishings, is there anything fun you would put into your house? We had an AI wardrobe that somebody said last time.
Oh yeah.
Where you kind of get outfits picked for you.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you would sprinkle into your?
Yeah, I don't know. I sort of fancy having rooms that, again, just if you've got a big enough place that you can just. People have like trampoline rooms and stuff like that, don't they? So I think that kind of thing,
like a ball pit.
Yeah, I think all the thing when my kids were little, I really envied them all the toys they had, and if you could do adult version sizes of soft play,
nice.
Like a slightly dangerous soft play, a hard play, a soft play if you fall off, you hurt yourself.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Inside this volcano.
In the volcano, yeah.
The active volcano made of glass.
Yeah.
It would be.
Well, that would make the soft play more exciting, wouldn't it?
Because you're like, will it go off? Won't it go off? We don't know. Okay.
The floor is lava. You could play a great game of the floor is lava.
That would be that is great. Literally.
Yeah.
How about modes of travel?
I'd like to be able to teleport. That would be my best mode of transport.
Is that already a thing?
No.
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think we need to ask them whether you can teleport. I think that would have probably in the papers, but maybe not. Maybe the rich people are able to do it, and we don't know.
Listen, Elon is cooking on something. It's not.
It's not possible.
Okay, it's not a thing yet, but maybe we could iron out, get scientists to do. I don't know.
Got to be working on it. I mean, yeah, it would be nice to. I think I'd quite like to bring people from the past into the present day. I think is what I'd prefer to do. I'd love to go to ancient Rome, or I love Pompeii. I'd love to go and live in that time for a little bit. But I bet it's horrible, really. But it's. I bet it would be. I bet it'd be a horrible place to live, full of disease and people chopping your head off and being made into a gladiator and stuff, as I understand it. But I'd love to see that in reality.
You could bring some of them, or maybe as like podcast guests.
Yes, that'd be great.
That'd be great.
That would be off menu, wouldn't it? If you're bringing in Henry VIII. What do you want for dinner, Henry VIII?
Exactly. Henry VIII and all his wives.
Yeah.
Bring them all back.
Yeah.
That could
be
good.
awkward. It could be awkward all of them together.
Over some food.
They have to They have to first kind of acclimatise themselves to the fact they've travelled forward 500, 600 years.
You'd have to probably reattach a head as well.
Yeah, it would be difficult.
Yeah. Okay, so there is a meme that says, if I win the lottery, I wouldn't tell anyone, but there would be signs. So I want to know, if you won the EuroMillions jackpot, what would your signs be?
Well, the hair.
Going
the
up.
Big hair. That's the first sign. Gold shoes. That's it. The problem is because you would, if you don't keep it secret, then I think like it would become more problematic. But there's no way of keeping it. There's no way of having the money and keeping it. So you'd have to carry on living in your house and go, oh, hello to your neighbours, and then nip off to your volcano or wherever
on your island.
Yeah, we're probably not cross-referencing there. So I think. I'd be happy all the time. That would be a giveaway. I'd have a gold face.
Okay.
I'd have my face redone in gold.
Okay, nice.
Like a mask, really.
Yeah,
but it
yeah.
would be. I wouldn't be able to take it off.
Nice. Right.
Because if you were able to take it off, someone would mug you and take it off.
And
so it's got to be attached to your face.
Constantly.
Like really welded on.
Now,
which, so if someone tried to steal it, it would really hurt. You'd need a guard for your gold face.
Yeah, you'd need security for your gold face and gold suit and gold shoes.
So the gold face would be a giveaway, I reckon. When people say, what's happened? Something you've done? Had some work done?
Something's different. Something's different here.
And no wrinkles or anything on the gold face.
Right,
so
okay.
My face from when I was young and handsome.
Just in gold.
Just in gold on top of my own face.
Okay, how much is a gold suit, gold shoes, and a gold face mask?
Gold face. Can't be that much.
Gold into the skin.
Even better.
So for a full solid gold bodysuit, you're looking at a ballpark figure of around £2 to £3 million.
Nothing.
Easy.
And again, that's that's an investment.
Yes.
Gold. The gold never loses its value. That's fine. It's melted down at the end if you.
Yes.
It doesn't, and I reckon it'd be probably because I lose weight and gain weight all the time. So every year I'm sort of 10 kilos one way or the other.
Right.
And you could just melt it a bit, couldn't you?
Melt
if you just melt it, and then it will be, and then just
back to size.
Hammer it back down.
Nice. Okay, well,
I think I might just get into that. That's quite.
I think that's a great sign for a EuroMillions win. I think that is a clear sign. Actually, people would be like, something has changed.
But I'd be like, no, I haven't won the EuroMillions.
Don't know what you're on about. Don't know what you're talking about. This is just who I am.
It's just my face.
This is just me. So now you have a EuroMillion sized budget.
Yeah.
Who is the first guest you are booking on RHLSTP?
Well, so the problem, the kind of people you want have so much money anyway, but they do, and people end up doing those things where they go and play someone's wedding. They play the wedding of some evil person. It's some person who's earned their money by terrible purposes.
Yeah.
And they'll go to the wedding and they'll get paid £1 million a the day. So I guess if you said I've got $1 million, do you think Paul McCartney would? I'd really like Paul McCartney to come on my podcast. He's got quite a lot of money,
Oh, of course he would.
Would he do it? Is there a point, do you think, where Paul McCartney go, okay, if it's 200 million, I'm coming in?
I think you could get Paul McCartney on. What's Paul McCartney's fee? What's his fee?
It's about 3 million.
3 mil? That's pretty cheap.
That is cheap.
Yeah.
That is cheap.
Because like he's genuinely like there aren't many historical figures, right? You know, people who are going to be in 100 years' time, they'll look back and they'll go, "Oh, I'll listen to that podcast with that guy." There aren't many people because that fame is a very fleeting thing.
It is,
and it comes and goes, and you're famous, and you know, and then it's gone.
Yeah.
But so to become like Mozart or something, you know, Paul McCartney's probably the best shot of being someone. There's artists.
Yes.
You know, you might get an artist. Banksy might be famous in 100 years' time,
yes.
but we don't know who he is now. But I think Paul McCartney will be a historical figure. The thing I really want to ask Paul McCartney about, this is just genuinely seriously, is when the Beatles came back from Hamburg, they had about 6 months where they sort of didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Right? And Paul McCartney was working in a factory, and he was working a proper job. And he got offered a promotion to like management level, and at the same time John Lennon came and said, "Oh, we've got some lunchtime gigs at this place called the Cavern. Do you want to come down and play?" And Paul McCartney had to choose between going to the Beatles or going into middle management.
Yeah,
and he chose the Beatles.
Good for him.
But I'd love to see the timeline where he chose the. I wonder if he ever looks back and thinks, "I wonder what would have happened if I'd just done the job."
Stayed in management, worked my way up the company.
So I think that's a really interesting thing to ask him about that moment in his life.
Paul McCartney did go on Adam Buxton's podcast.
I know he did. But I can't take revenge on Adam Buxton. I love Adam Buxton too much. Ed and James, I'll throw down the toilet, but Adam Buxton,
we'll keep.
No revenge.
Yeah. Okay, so Richard, thank you so much for joining us here on Rich Beyond My Wildest Dreams. You have been a phenomenal guest.
Oh, thank you.
I have dreamt big. My mind has been opened. I'm going to go home and I'm going to research a lot of this stuff.
Good.
And we're going to work on teleportation. It has to happen in my lifetime.
Yeah.
But we are going to do a run through of all the fun, wild and wacky things that you have said throughout the episode, okay? We've been collating them as you've been speaking. So I'm going to run through them. Some of them you may remember. Some of them might be like, did I say that?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, but we're gonna talk about them, right? So at the top of our list, we have bring back Deadwood, but with Jedward.
Yeah.
We're also doing a personal dental hygienist.
Yeah, that's the best one.
Who works for you full time, but only helps you out half an hour in the morning,
if that.
And then for the rest of the day, they're employed.
Yeah.
Rest of the day, they're employed. Staff to help you with day-to-day tasks. Then also, we are going to close down not just Oxford Street for private shopping, but anywhere else that we want to go to.
Anywhere around.
The gym,
the
leisure centre. Close it down because you're around and no one else can go in there.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Own our own newspaper, which I loved. With a PI on top of that, so that we can talk about journalists who give us bad reviews and find out dirt about them. And the occasional piece about James and Ed.
Yeah, James.
The occasional piece. Speaking of James and Ed, we are definitely still banning them from every restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. No, I was just confirming.
Yeah.
And then we are going to set up free accommodation for fringe performers.
Oh, that's nice.
That's a lovely thing to do.
That's nice.
That's a lovely thing to do. Then James Bond-style volcano underground home.
Yeah.
Made of glass. With adult soft play. And the island volcano home is on part of it all, and everybody's
if you like.
Yeah, the rooms in the house, all of them have a designated function.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then we've got teleportation research and development team. Just so we can iron out those kinks in teleportation.
How would we know though? How will we know if the person at the other end is... Because they would say they're you, wouldn't they?
I mean...
But they might not be you. So, like, even if you're doing the research, the person goes, yeah, it worked.
It worked. And it wasn't... Yeah.
No, I'm not going back in again. That was it.
One time only. I mean, we'll figure it out in the process. Right, we'll set up a meeting. We are going to bring back historical figures. We'll iron out who, but potentially Henry VIII. But, we'll see. We'll see if we're bothered about him at that point. And bring them on as podcast guests.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah. I like this one. Gold face, gold suit, gold shoes.
Yeah.
And then, last but not least, Paul McCartney as a podcast guest.
Yeah.
That's a solid list. That is a solid list here.
Yeah, I haven't saved any money for food.
No.
For my family.
Boring.
Never mind. Okay.
No. You have thought outside of the box.
Yep.
What's your favourite on here?
Ooh.
Out of the things you've
I think
listed.
I like I think the gold face. I think
Gold.
the
The three
face,
Gs.
Yeah.
I
gold face.
personally like gold face and hygienist.
Okay. Yeah, the hygienist is
I
good.
just think it's really practical.
I'm just going to do the hygienist.
Really good.
I'm doing the hygienist anyway. I'm just going to work 32 grand. I'm going to do some extra work so that I can have got 32 grand more.
Self-care.
They have to bring their own equipment.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Doable. Thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you.
us today, Richard. You've been fantastic.
You're so
Give him a
good.
round of applause. Oh my goodness. And now you're going to have to leave here and not be rich, but that's fine. That's totally fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I think we've established that I should not be given any money. So it's for the best.
So guys, remember, you can get that EuroMillions feeling every Friday with another episode of Rich Beyond My Wildest Dreams. Please subscribe on all podcasting apps and follow us on YouTube, Instagram and TikTok. Goodbye.